Hello everyone, I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Citizen Sleeper 2. Last episode, we explored the rest of this station, and we happened to find a potential source of the fuel lines we need, the feed lines we need in order to get further away. Unfortunately, it costs us 400 cryo, which we are nowhere near doing. Or, we can slice some data core and deliver it to him, which seems more reasonable. There's also a contract board here that we can go to in order to get a contract. First things first, I'm going to see what I can get from doing this. Probably money. 10 cryo! That's actually exactly what I need. I can use this cryo to buy the contract. There we go. So now we have the new contract. 2 fuel. Only 2. That's definitely more possible. He can scavenge some fuel and we'll be able to get something. Can't rig the engine. While I could rest and recover, I don't think it really has much of a point. And while we do have 1 roll left, there isn't really any way I think we can get much from it, but I think we don't have much of a choice, so I may as well use this one here. Hopefully this doesn't hurt too much. -1 energy. Well, that sucked. Well, that's all we can do there. Scavenge some fuel if you can. End of the cycle. Okay. We're low, but we have some very good rolls here. We still need fuel and supplies, which we need money for. But you did manage to get some fuel. Ultimately, what we need is... let's see. Go ahead with a very positive data diesel ship there. I need all the cryo I can get. And that's a good way to get 10 cryo. We can spare some days in order to do it. How much do we need for this? We need 1 more fuel. I can go ahead and get a lot more money this way. It's very effective. What would happen if I go to the bends? I can do this as a positive. Would this get me more? 9 cryo. That is nowhere near good enough. Do a few more of these. I mean, getting all the money we need is absolutely fantastic. There, that's beautiful. I can use this in order to fully fuel up at the canteen, because that's 4 energy. That's great. And I can fill up on fuel. Now we can try and complete this contract. Let's see if we can. Conway signal. We have the ability. It's risky, but we can. Okay. So, Seraphin is guaranteed. And we can also take her, Nia. Okay. That's fine. Her skills are... Intuit is good. I believe that's what that is. Let's travel. See what this job is. It's a drone. Seraphin spots the signal source first, the light barely shimmering off its dark hull plating. A design trait that betrays its covert use. A flash catches your attention and you see a rent in the hull, through which the red lights pulse. Wounded. Wish they'd finished the job. You've seen one before? Seraphin looks back over his shoulder towards you. We've seen one before, don't you? Sorry. I know it isn't your fault. He looks at the drone. Lane had us work on one in a darkside bay, though it was barely a shell. Disarmed and deactivated. He had us searching through its guts for salvage. Even that one gave me the creeps, and it had its core whipped out. This one is still alive. Conway. Nia kisses her teeth. Her corporate scum. You glance over at her and see the fire in her bright eyes. They don't even dare to come here and force us out themselves. It's all proxies and drones. Ah, typical core-bred cowards. Run into them before? She glances at you. You might say that. She looks out at the drone. You won't see me taking my eyes off that thing for a second. Seraphin carefully guides the ship closer. You watch the drone. System is full of these things now, running missions for their operators. Rare to see one out in the belt, though. Maybe it got hit during a run-in with Senate Stat Mercs. Looks like it's drifting. Most of the system's blown out. But look, there. He jabs a finger towards a red light on the far side of the drone. It's still broadcasting, maybe even receiving. How do we shut it off? Seraphin brings you ever closer. What I remember from the dark side job is that the central core and the broadcast array need to be shut off to kill these things. Core will turn off local systems, and the broadcast array will sever the link with Conway operators. But you can bet those systems are protected. Can't we blow it up? You see any torpedoes on this rig, Sleeper? We gotta shut it down by hand. Your attention is suddenly drawn by a shudder from the drone, like a tremor running along its length. This thing is rigged to blow, Sleeper. We go slow and careful, and we don't touch anything we don't know about. He turns back to Nia. You hear that? I got you. She looks sincere. Seraphin brings the rig to a stop, close enough for you to cross through open space to reach the drone's hull. Let's suit up. You head down to the airlock to prepare. As you get suited up, you think of the corporate war taking place in the inner system. The war that this drone was driven from. Out here on the shore of the conflict, the biggest danger is that this flotsam and jetsam drifting in with the tides and orbits of the system might, one day, bring the war with it. For now, the belt is outside its reach, but looking out at the red pulsing drone, that doesn't give you much comfort. Welcome to your first contract. While on a contract, you will be able to assign 2 dice for each crew member as you would assign your own dice. Pay attention to the crew's skills to use them effectively. On certain outcomes, crew will take crew stress. When their stress is full, you will no longer be able to use them to perform actions. While on a contract, your energy bar will automatically be supplied for each cycle that you have available supplies. When your supplies are depleted, both you and your crew will take 1 stress per cycle. Contracts also have their own contract stress. When this bar is filled, the contract will fail. Got it. So that's what we need supplies for. Rigged to blow. So we can see this, if we need to. Let's see. What are these? We've got hull damage and access hatch. Hull damage. The drone's damage provides a lucky access point to the broadcast array, which will have to be disabled. We can identify the route. It might be possible to slip through the gap in the drone's damaged hull, but once inside, where to go, how to find the broadcast array, or create an opening. There's a gap where the drone sustains some damage. With a lot of effort, it might be possible to pry away the plates and create an entry point. Not too much option there. And we've also got an access hatch. Getting inside the drone requires care as much as force. Conway is highly protective of their proprietary systems. We can reprogram the hatch. With the drone in such a reactive state, ready to fry itself in defense, perhaps reprogramming the hatch to open up to your crew is the best approach. Or release the hatch. The drone is in a delicate state, and any damage could cause it to trigger its self-destruct. It will take skill to release the access hatch. Reprogramming the hatch is something we can do. A little bit. That was a neutral outcome. That was a good outcome. During a contract, you can use your push ability once per cycle to give you an edge in a tricky situation. Pushing accrues 1 stress, but will give you a key advantage based on your chosen class. You can see your current push configuration if you hold your mouse over the button and on the character screen. Your push cannot be used at a hub, but when at a hub it can be upgraded and configured in the character screen. As your stress increases, you will have a higher chance of taking damage to your action dice each time you roll them. Got it. So Control Axis is halfway done. If I did this, that would not be a good state. But I can do some things here. Nia, you can identify a route here. I'm not work-shy, Sleeper. Noted. That helps, and this is something we can do. That didn't work as well as I'd hoped. That was very good. Risky, but we'll try it. Okay, that worked. That's almost all we have. I do have a single, but there is no time to rest. You cannot recover stress while on a contract. So even though I do have one part left, this is risky. I'm gonna give it a try. Okay, that worked. Alright, looks like we need to rest. I should have gotten more supplies. Alright, end cycle. Those are some good rolls. Those are some very good rolls for all of us. Well, I can get in through the hatch here. I'm gonna use the 3 and hope I don't get a negative. Got it. You hear the bleeping immediately. Among the chambers and cabling of the drone's interior, something has started counting down. Guys? Nia's voice comes hissing through the suit's comm channel. Does anyone else hear that? Because I'm getting nervous. Shit. This is what I was worried about. Are we screwed? I can't be sure. Seraphin has dropped his voice to a whisper, as if that might make a difference. Either this thing is about to send out a distress call, or it's about to blow. We gotta shut this system down fast. Then we move on to the other side, because I bet you there's a surprise waiting for us there, too. We good? Am I heading back to the ship, or what? We're good. We keep going. Seraphin shuts off the channel. You take a moment in the silence. Alright, time to deal with this fast, then get over to the other side before something happens. Control system. In the core, you see the drone is running on backup power. Disconnect that carefully and you'll be one step closer to a full shutdown. Disabling the drone's core will stop it from ever restarting and causing Hexport or the local crews more trouble. Drone death. Disable the core. Shut down the broadcast array. Once both are done, this Conway drone won't bother anyone anymore. A flashing red light signifies some change in the array. You better not wait to find out what. Okay. I can disconnect the backup slightly. That's good. If I use this, that's too risky. But you guys are going to need to focus on this. I think I can do it with this. Come on, positive. Come on, neutral. Okay, core disabled. Now we need to get in here. This is what you guys have. Okay, going well here. And this 4, as long as it's not negative. Got it. So what do we got here? Now that you're in the broadcast area of the drone, you'll need to shut it down fast. The simplest way is to put the entire system offline. That's interface. That's my thing. We got 3 cycles to do it. We're almost out of supplies, but one more rest, we should be able to take care of this. We'll buy more supplies when we get back. You have used all your energy and are now starving. While starving, you gain 1 stress per cycle, and any energy loss accrues stress. Eat to regain energy. We will, but we're almost done with this. And if I use a 4... There we go. The interior of the drone lights up in a crimson flash. The thrumming, pulsing interior of the drone goes still for the first time since you boarded it. You look across at Seraphim and Nia and share a smile. You all exhale so loudly it can be heard over the suit's shared comm channel. The drone is dead. One less piece of Conway shit to worry about. We killed it! Don't get too excited. It was looking pretty rough when we got here. You make your way back out to the hull, the drone now faintly rolling in one direction, its stabilizers offline. Nia catches up with you as you glide towards the rig. We make a pretty good crew, Sleeper. We do. Nia grins widely. She punches you on the arm playfully. You reach the rig's airlock and take one last look at the drone's dark hull. He catches the light as it rolls in the vacuum. At some point in the near future, this drone will likely be smashed to pieces by one of the many asteroids of the belt spread across this place's twinkling dust. The thought pleases you. As does the thought of all that cryo Hexport now owes you. Time to go collect. The contract is concluded. You can leave via the map. And indeed, we shall. You can now travel back to the hub. Once you leave, you will not be able to return. Leave. -5 stress during travel. After docking at Hexport, Seraphim lets go of the controls and leans back in his chair. Nia leans over to you. Thank you, Sleeper. I know you took a chance on me. Thanks for helping. Nia smiles an infectious smile. Feels good to make a contract work, Seraphim smiles. No matter how we pull it off. It's hard not to agree. And it feels better when the Hexport courier comes with a lockbox full of chits. Lane may still be hunting you, but this should help the effort to slip his net. Suddenly you hear a familiar voice. Nia! Femi glides into view, approaching from the docks. He fixes you with a stare. What are you playing at, Sleeper? Nia wanted to come. You go to speak, but Nia drifts forward, cutting you off. Don't come throwing your weight around, Femi. I can make my own decisions. She glances back at you. Sleeper took me at my word, and I'm grateful. Femi is fuming. Did they know? He turns to you. Well, if you are working for Sleeper, I hope they paid you well. Well, I asked, so... Oh, so they aren't paying you? Seraphim crosses his arms. Let's keep this civil. You realize this is the first time he is meeting Femi. If we are being civil, seems like Nia is owed her share. Femi fixes you with a severe look. You know what? She did her duty. She did a very good job helping out. I'm pretty sure we would... Since we didn't have much supplies, if she wasn't around, we would not have completed that without her. Pay Nia a share. You grab around a quarter of the chits from the lockbox and hold them out to Nia. She takes them sheepishly. Alright then. We're good here. Femi turns to leave. Nia mouths a sorry and follows Femi across the docks. Seraphim watches them go. You sure know how to pick him, Sleeper. He shakes his head. He turns away and heads back along the docking bridge. I just hope we aren't going to end up a stack of cryo short when we need to get out of here. Look, we needed them. You just completed a drive and earned an upgrade point. You have push upgrades available. Go to the character screen to use them. So I could no dice damage on push reroll or reroll one extra die, which I could take, but again, I want to save up 4 so that I don't have the penalty for engineer. I want as much versatility as I can get. As long as I don't have the penalty for engineer, I'd be happy. So with that said, while we do have an amount of money, we can fill up our supplies, which we're now full on. Oh wow, that is actually... Those cycles were out do count here. Okay, good to know. I'm gonna go to the canteen. Use the cryo for that. I can get more money at the Swift Scrap Soul. Actually, I'm going to fill up the fuel. That doesn't take much. We're full up. Now, I can go ahead and do all this. That'll get us a bunch more money. It's very useful to have. These ones aren't going to help much, but I mean I can try. That's lower energy. That's a little bit of cryo. Okay. And with that, while we could rest again, we're full up on fuel and full up on supplies. Now we can actually go to Solheim and finish this up. And finish this up with this ship. I still wish we could finish the engineering. That's gonna be tricky to do. Is there anything else on the contract board? No, there is not. Okay. Well, it was that, or just work on trying to gain as much money as we could to just pay it off. But I'm fine doing the contract. Which I kind of don't want to start right now. I would, honestly, much rather just go to it go to it in the next episode and take care of it. So, I know this episode's going to go a lot shorter. I can say, though, right now, I am interested. I am liking this so far. I still want, like I said, my goal now, save up 4 points so that I can get this. Once Engineer is upgraded, I can look at upgrading my push a little bit. As nice as it would be. Getting rerolls would be good. Let's see. So just to fully understand, if I do a push to reroll, I take no dice damage. Which I haven't seen yet. I don't know how to fix it. Or I can reroll 1 extra die, which could also be useful. I can also... The second option is more stress if a 6 is rerolled. Or I reroll random die, but I have an extra an extra die is rerolled. Oh! So the right side is all reroll more dice. So I can reroll up to 4. The left side is no damage, more stress if I reroll a 6. I'm not sure why I'd want to. Or any dice I reroll can't be a 1. That actually sounds very good. That guarantees whatever I reroll, I at least get a 2. But yeah, while I could take this, I don't want to right now. Right, so I am going to end this episode here. Next episode, we'll go get that thing for Karsten. See what we can get. That'll be in the next episode. So until then, I am Chester44. I'll send you this fly. This has been a Let's Play of Citizen Sleeper 2, and I shall see you all next time.